kick-off. Interesting team change here from Charlie McAllister playing at full-back. Also out tonight, Ian Bates and Ian Flanagan, 18-year-old, signed only 2 weeks ago from the local St. Anne's club. Widnes on the attack, number 2, Rick Packer. Held by Mike Ford and young Flanagan. Phil McKenzie playing the ball. Back to Gordon.
Well, good evening from Watersheddings Oldham for this First Division fixture between Oldham and Widnes. Apologies for the late start to the commentary, but severe traffic problems on the motorway has held up quite a number of people coming over from Widnes tonight. Oldham then in possession, but have lost the ball midway between. They're on 25 and halfway. Widnes though with Darren Wright, looks for O'Fire, who steps inside, and Martin O'Fire scores the first try of the evening. And indeed, with that try for Martin O'Fire, that makes it a new Widnes club try-scoring record. Jonathan Davis then, very difficult kick, but a superb kick indeed. That will give Jonathan some heart, and also the travelling Widnes fans, as Widnes move sweetly into a 6-0 lead. As I say, due to getting here late with the crowd, I'll run through the two teams at half-time for you. In the meantime, Widnes have the ball midway between halfway and they're on 25. Jonathan Davis then, with a kick downfield. McAllister at full-back, and that ball deep inside the Oldham 25. In fact, getting right to the corner, where McAllister will be met by Courier, Thackeray and by Colosso. Oldham then just inside their own 25. Ruane, with that ball again going to ground, but a double knock on, says the referee. And that will result in a scrum down just on the Oldham 25 in centre field. A very blustery night indeed for this fixture. The game actually kicked off in a snow flurry. David Hume then for Widnes. But this time, tackled back by John Cogger and by Ian Bates. Widnes then move up towards the Oldham 25 in centre field. Derek Pike. Mackenzie. Short ball to Colosso. Drives in. Working a position for Widnes here. Widnes playing from left to right, obviously, in this first half. Down the slope here at Oldham. And with the wind in the favour, David Hume looking for support. Mike O'Neill picks up a very tricky ball. And some last-ditch tackling by Oldham. Keep Widnes out just a yard or two short. But in the end, a forward pass, says the referee. And that will result in a scrum down. 10 yards from the Oldham line. Flanagan comes away then. Cogger. The ex-Runcorn loose forward. A couple of seasons ago he was the second division player of the year while playing for Runcorn. Now Ian Sherritt then, big number 8 for Oldham, makes good ground. Oldham trying to get up to halfway. Ruane will kick this ball through. And an excellent kick indeed. Dave Myers, full-back tonight for Widnes in the absence of Alan Tate. Just couldn't make the ground to that ball, but nonetheless a good kick indeed by Ruane. So play then taken up outside the Widnes 25. The referee says that both sets of forwards must get down again. David Hume will put the ball in for Widnes then. Or rather, Flanagan will put it in for Oldham. The referee has awarded Oldham a free kick. Widnes not binding properly in the scrummage, says the referee. And Ruane puts that safely into touch for Oldham then, up on the Widnes 25. The game now being played in a snowstorm, but the ball lost again by Oldham, and Rick Thackeray drops on that loose ball. Derek Pike is at half-back, now Joe Grimmer. Widnes definitely have the elements in their favour in this first half. David Hume, a long kick over the head of McAllister, turns him. He'll have to come back inside his own 25. Faced by 3 Widnes men again. A good charge by McAllister. And in the end, a good tackle by Mackenzie. Oldham then in possession, trying to get up to halfway. Robinson, the left wing. Mike Ford playing at standoff for Oldham tonight. So it'll be Ruane again, the ex-Widnes hooker. Keith Newton, also an ex-Widnes player in the Oldham side tonight. Ruane from half-back, trying to get his side away on that right-hand touchline, doing very well. Great break by Oldham, and a superb tackle by Dave Myers. But it's all to no avail. The referee brings play back midway between halfway and the Widnes 25, but a lively move indeed by Oldham, and the home fans getting right behind their team, encouraged by that move. Now the snow absolutely pouring down. As I say, many Widnes fans held up in the motorway traffic coming along the M62, and quite a few people still trying to get into the ground. Widnes get that ball through David Hume. Jonathan Davis takes a short pass and goes past McAllister. He has 60 yards, but Robinson's coming back at him. But Davis makes a superb try for Widnes, and that is exactly what Widnes bought this fellow for. A quite superb individual try from Jonathan Davis. The Widnes fans have waited almost 3 months for that sort of individual skills from a world-class rugby player. The questions that the national press have asked about his ability to play rugby league, took that short ball deep inside his own half, raced past his opposite number forward, then raced past McAllister at fullback to score a superb try. And indeed, Jonathan Davis will be taking the conversion himself to his own try. And that will definitely give Jonathan Davis encouragement now for his future in rugby league. Perhaps some people were a bit sceptical about whether this guy could play rugby league. Many of the questions answered with that quite superb try. Jonathan Davis then, with an excellent conversion again. So Widnes move out to a very nice looking 12 points to 0 lead. With about 14 minutes of this game gone. McAllister then with the kick-off for Oldham. In fact, the snow and the hailstones beginning to stick to this turf now. Dave Myers then, strong run from full back, makes it up to his own 25. Attempted kick downfield by David Hume. Play on, says the referee. 6 more tackles for Widnes. Derek Pike, first receiver. Met on his own 25 by 3 Oldham forwards. Nonetheless, a superb start for Widnes then. If they win this fixture tonight, Widnes will be outright leaders of Division 1. A superb kick by Jonathan Davis. Fully 60 yards again. Deep into Oldham territory. A superb kick by Davis. Has Oldham pinned down then 7 or 8 yards from their own line. A very daunting task in front of Oldham then. Already 12-0 down in this fixture. And playing against severe elements in this first half. Chance to move the ball to the left though. Keith Newton, excellent run by him. But Jonathan Davis just taps his heels and brings him to ground. An excellent start for the match for Jonathan Davis. Meanwhile, Oldham trying to get up to halfway. Coggers at halfback. Now forward. A long pass from forward. Finds his wingman, Paul Lord. But he's tackled by Widnes quite strongly, 10 yards into the Widnes half of the field. And it will be the turnover. Martin Ofire at halfback, losing his footing. Absolutely appalling conditions here now. And to be honest, there's a very big threat that this game could be called off, because it's getting very difficult indeed to see. Never mind play the game of rugby league in. But meanwhile, Cogger for Oldham. Unbelievable cloudburst. Cogger loses the ball goes loose again, but a double knock on, says the referee. And that will be a scrum down midway between halfway and the Oldham 25. Well, let's hope that this weather does give way shortly. Widnes get that ball from the scrummage. It would be a total injustice if this game was called off after Widnes making such a sensational start. Joe Grimmer then on the short ball, but it really is coming heavier, if anything. Well, the linesman in on the far side, trying to attract the referee's attention. He does so. The referee has called out the number 10 for Oldham, Leo Casey, having a word for something he did in that tackle, and has awarded Widnes a penalty kick 10 yards inside the Oldham half of the field. And Jonathan Davis, I think, has elected to kick for goal. Already 2 superb kicks from Davis. Well, an astonishing cloudburst here. It really does need to give over quickly, otherwise there would be a threat of this game being called off. The referee just looking up to the skies there as a clap of thunder rings around the ground. Jonathan Davis then with his penalty attempt from maybe 40 yards just to the left of the Oldham posts. Very slippy underfoot now though. But a marvellous kick again by Jonathan Davis. Well, what a start he. So again, McAllister will restart the game for Oldham. Dave Myers pushing off one or two would-be tacklers, but in the end, overpowered by 3 Oldham forwards inside the Widnes 25 in centre field. Now Coloto, brought down again, just inside the Widnes 25. Mackenzie will throw this ball back to Jonathan Davis. And again, a ball this time not quite as long. Taken by McAllister. Drives back at Thackeray and at Andy Courier. And he's brought down just on halfway on this near touchline. Robinson is at halfback. Mike O'Neill and Derek Pike bring him to ground. The number 10 then, Leo Casey, driving again, making 3 or 4 yards for Oldham. But it really is difficult for Oldham to play against such really bad conditions. And an attempted kick downfield by Andy Ruane goes in touch on the full on that far side, and that will be a scrum down. Midway between halfway and the Widnes 25. Free kick to Oldham, says the referee. The Widnes front row not binding properly. And so some respite, if you like, for Oldham at the minute. Ruane then safely into touch on that far side. The Oldham fans then behind that goal, urging their team forward. Leo Casey, good drive from him. Takes Oldham to within 10 yards of the Widnes line then. Now Sherritt, another good drive by him, takes him to within 5 or 6 yards of the Widnes post. Switch play, forward. Oh, but an intercept almost there by Coloto. Or rather, Derek Pike. And he would have been in the clear. But he knocked on in trying to intercept that ball from forward. And it's a scrum down then, 10 yards from the Widnes post. In absolutely blinding and hailstone. I don't know how the players are playing in that at the moment, because it's bad enough on the terracing. McAllister then coming in to join the line and does well. Takes Oldham to within 10 yards of the Widnes line. Bring it to the left this time, forward. Tries to miss out a man. Brought down 10 yards short. Ruane tries to go himself from half-back. The ball goes loose. Oldham still have the ball. And it's a try for Oldham. Well, a bit of a mix-up there with the loose ball. And I think the most surprised player on the field was the Oldham player who actually turned over and saw the ball in front of him, picked it up and just put it over the line. McAllister has what is an almost impossible conversion attempt out on this near touchline, but he makes an excellent effort, and that ball just going wide of the face of the goal is a really good effort against. Jonathan Davis then restarts the game for Widnes. Ball getting down behind the line. The number 2, Paul Lord, takes it well. Makes about 15 yards. Oldham then trying to move the ball away from their own line. Obviously, the referee, Mr. Tennant, will be keeping a close watch on this storm we're playing in. If he loses the markings on the pitch, it could be trouble. But in the meantime, the linesman in on this near touchline. A tackle by Andy Courier that the linesman and the referee not happy about. Saying that tackle from Andy Courier was too high, and it's a free kick to Oldham. Ruane then, safely into touch on halfway.
10 yards forward, and we go for
Ruane. Now Skerritt. But a good tackle by Derek Pike. Short ball again. Leo Casey almost getting through, looking for support. Oldham then have picked up their game slightly since they've got that try in the last 5 minutes. But forward. Coloto steals the ball and makes a good drive towards halfway. Good play by Coloto. Pinching that ball from forward and putting the initiative back with Widnes. David Hume, short ball. Richard Ayres goes through the gap. But he too loses the ball in the tackle. And a knock on, says Mr. Tennant back here. As Mike O'Neill chased that loose ball. Well, you'd think that this first quarter of this game had been played on different days. Kicked off with a nice green pitch. Now it's absolutely covered in hailstone. Forward then for Oldham. Cogger, he goes himself, makes another 10 yards. Oldham are getting up towards halfway here. That looks a forward pass, and yes it was, says Mr. Tennant. And that will be a scrum down just inside the Oldham half of the field. David Hume then will put this ball in for Widnes. The ball comes out for Widnes. Darren Wright at left centre. But a good tackle by his opposite number. Now Coloto. Oldham tackling very well though at the moment. Not allowing Widnes to get into the stride. Joe Grimmett tries himself to straighten the play up and does very well. Knocks 2 or 3 would-be tacklers off. Darren Wright's in the clear. Comes inside McAllister and races towards the Oldham post for the 3rd Widnes try of the night. Well, Widnes are really playing like champions that they are tonight already. With about 26 minutes of the first half gone, Darren Wright adds to the Widnes total. And Widnes move into an 18 points to 4 lead. I think 1 or 2 of the Oldham supporters on this side of the ground were thinking perhaps that there was a forward pass in that move from Widnes, but Mr. Tennant did not agree, and that has left Jonathan Davis with his easiest kick of the evening so far to try and tag on the conversion. 3 out of 3 so far. For Jonathan Davis, plus his try, Martin O'Fire's try, and that one from Darren Wright takes Widnes out to a comfortable looking 20 points to 4 lead. McAllister then will restart the game for Oldham. Most of the markings on the pitch have literally been obliterated by this storm. Dave Myers then. Oldham have cause to remember this lad. This is only his 2nd game in the 1st division. In his 1st game he scored a hat-trick just the other week against Oldham. So they'll be watching him closely enough. Now Coloto then, going on the blind side. Mackenzie. Widnes moving it down that blind side. The ball going backwards, says Mr. Tennant. Martin Afire dropping on the loose ball. So Widnes with a chance to open the game up then. David Yu steadying it down, if you like. And Widnes not getting away from their own 25 with these few tackles. The ball thrown back predictably to Jonathan Davis. That another long kick by Davis. And McAllister again. But to be fair, really tricky underfoot. He really couldn't take that on the full. But again though, the strong kicking of Davis takes Widnes right down onto the Oldham line. Leo Casey tries to get Oldham up to their own 25. But a good tackle by Pike. Well, it could be argued this season that Widnes are a fair weather side, but not so this evening. Very good run indeed by the number 11. Trevor Cronston takes Oldham deep into the Widnes half. That was a good run from the second row man. Oldham over on this side. Coggett throws it to Robinson. Oh, he steps through a tackle by Courier, and indeed loses his footing in front of Dave Myers. Oldham again then. Gawain with a kick to touch. Very good kick indeed. That will be a scrum down inside the Widnes 25. With about 10 minutes of the first half remaining. Oldham 4, Widnes 20. That ball appears to come out on the Oldham side. Yes, it does. Flanagan driving in centre field. Just a young lad, 18 years of age. Now forward, who's moved to stand off because of him coming into the side. Tries to go himself. Held up by Richard Earls and by the covering David Yu. So Oldham again then, putting some pressure on the Widnes line. Cogger tries to go himself for the Widnes post and scores a try. Well, no lack of excitement then tonight for both sets of supporters. Already 5 tries with a half an hour of this fixture gone. John Cogger, the ex-Runcorn loose forward, went from half-back, went through 2 would-be Widnes. And 8 points on the board to Widnes' 20. They also have this attempted conversion from in front of the post by McAllister to come. This by no means an easy kick, straight into the teeth of the wind, but a very good kick. So as I say, with about 8 or 9 minutes left then of this first half, Oldham creeping back in at 10 points to 20. Jonathan Davis then restarting the game. Another big long kick from him. And an excellent kick as well from Jonathan Davis, because that ball bounced before it went in goal, and that will be a dropout by Oldham. But we're seeing his full repertoire of skills in this first half. A superb kicking display and also that wonderful try. McAllister then. Taken on the full by Mike O'Neill. Inside the Oldham 25. Drives at the Oldham defence. Held up by Ford and by Cronston. In centre field then. Coloto trying to go himself. Is held up maybe 10 yards short of the Oldham line. A chance for Widnes again then before half-time to add to that score. Derek Pike run around with David Yu. The ball's still alive. Hume going on the blind side. Looks for support inside from Darren Wright, but Widnes have to settle it down. A couple of more tackles yet. Andy Courier going himself. It takes play to within 5 or 6 yards of the Oldham line. We'll play that ball over on the left-hand side. Mackenzie to Pike. Pike driving, looking for support. Just couldn't get the ball away with the last tackle then for Widnes. Mackenzie, the ball thrown back to Davis. And the drop goal as well. Well, a full house from Jonathan Davis already in the first half. 4 goals, a try and a drop goal. So with about 8 minutes left then of the first half, it's Oldham, the home side 10, Widnes 21. Mike Ford then with a kick downfield, doesn't go all that far. Coloto traps the ball with his feet. And another good strong drive. This fella's really settled into rugby league now. 6 months in the game. And if you like, probably one of the game's biggest stars already. Ball thrown back to Davis. Another long kick from Jonathan Davis. McAllister gets across. 10 yards from his own line. Courier and Thackeray bring him to ground. The linesman in. I think he's saying that Andy Courier tackled high again. And this is the second time that the referee has had cause to talk to Andy Courier. Ruane then with the kick for Oldham. Safely into touch on this side. Will be a tap to Oldham, midway between, halfway in their own 25. There's Leo Casey. Coloto and Grimmer bring him to ground. But a knock-on by Ruane. There has to be knock-ons in this game now because the pitch is just in an awful condition. It's to the players' credit that they're serving up football as good as it is. David Hume then gets that ball for Widnes, scoops it out to Jonathan Davis. He tries to step inside, but this time Ford and Cogger bring him to ground just on halfway. Plays the ball. Hume with a good little dummy. Straightening play up for Widnes. They'll settle again. Mackenzie trying to get Widnes away on the left. Coloto trying to go himself. 3 Oldham men bring him to ground. Mackenzie still persisting, taking it that way. Grimmer. Joe Grimmer very rarely gets the ball these days without at least bursting 1 or 2 tackles. Davis then with a very strong up and under, giving Widnes time to get under that. McAllister doing very well. And indeed, making good ground away from his own line. Strong run from the fullback, doing very well. An enormous up and under from Jonathan Davis. Cogger then. Oldham moving the ball to the left forward, switching it back inside to Skerritt. And Oldham just inside their own half. Number 11, Trevor Cronston, makes it up right onto halfway then. Oldham bring the ball to the left here, forward, a long pass. Sean Allen, the ex-St Helens man, tries to keep that play going. And play on, says the referee. 6 more tackles to Oldham. About 3 minutes left of this first half then. Oldham have the initiative late in the first half. Flanagan, but he's held up by some strong tackling by the Widnes defence. Play on, says the referee. 6 more tackles for Oldham. Some encouragement from the home fans banked behind that goals that the Oldham team are playing to. A chance for them then to get a further score on the scoreboard to close that gap at half-time. Good run this time from Casey. Takes play to within 15 yards of the Widnes post then. Oldham move the ball to the left. Cogger. Ford. Now Cronston. Now Sean Allen. Very difficult for defenders to time their tackles on this very slippery surface, but Widnes doing well so far. But Oldham still with pressure on that Widnes line. Ford in centre field, switches play back, looks for support, but a good tackle by Mike O'Neill. Holds him up 5 yards short, last tackle. Ruane, a long kick.
But attempting to take that ball, Martin Ofaya knocks on. There's nothing he can do about that. The ball skidded to him at about 90 miles an hour off the ground, and there was really nothing he could do about that. And it's a knock on and a scrum down then, 5 or 6 yards from the line. Oldham have it. Forward, McAllister joining the line, looking for the short pass, but an excellent cover tackle from Jonathan Davis. That was a terrific tackle. Cogger then going himself. He's just scored for Oldham, and he's held up just 2 or 3 yards short, but the ball's still alive. Rowan with the long ball, but the referee deciding that Oldham knocked that ball on when the ball went loose. The home fans thinking that Robinson had got himself in this corner, but no, says Mr. Tennant. A scrum down. David Hume to put the ball in for Widnes, and Widnes have it then. The first half coming to a close. Widnes pinned on their own line. Davis with a huge kick downfield from his own line. That's a tremendous kick, giving Widnes a chance. Robinson's getting back though, but what a kick from Davis, taking play deep inside the Oldham 25. And when you've got a man who can kick a ball that length of the field, you can get the pressure off you straight away. Oldham then, midway between, halfway in their own 25. Final 1 or 2 minutes of this first half as Ford takes the ball to the right, switches it back inside. An excellent run by the number 3. Henderson doing very well, the ex-Lee centre. And Ruane with another kick, making another 5 or 10 yards. He is now. And Widnes have it. Out to Davis again. Short ball from Davis to Myers. Superb from Davis, putting Myers away. In turns, doing very well. Now he has 3 on the outside. Superb play, but he didn't let the ball go to Rick Thackeray. Well, after doing some superb work, the youngster rather perhaps should have let that ball go to the supporting Rick Thackeray, which would have probably brought Widnes another try. But nonetheless, Widnes still have the initiative then. Moving the ball through Grimmer. The referee deciding that Richard Ayres crossed with Joe Grimmer. Well, some excellent football there from Widnes. From their own line, Jonathan Davis with a superb short ball. Put Myers away. And the youngster doing very well to make 50 yards. And in the end just chose the wrong option. But encouragement from the rest of his teammates for a quite superb run from this youngster. Back to the play then, in centre field. Inside the Oldham half. Flanagan. Forward again at first receiver. Number 11, Cronson. Obviously difficult for them to make any sort of headway against the snow now that's coming down following that hailstorm. Forward. Keeping the ball alive though, McAllister having to join the line. A kick from McAllister. It's a good one, but Myers will get across to it. 5 yards from his own line. Has a look which way to go. Steps through 2 tackles, but in the end, Robinson brings him to ground. 10 yards from the Widnes line. Thackeray from halfback, allowing his forwards to get back and settle down. Good play from Thackeray. Now Derek Pike driving in and almost getting through at the second attempt. But a strong player, Derek Pike. And Oldham had designs of robbing the ball from him, but not so. Coloto with a long kick from Coloto downfield. Obviously the side playing with the elements are going to do that, and it'll be Oldham's turn in the second half. Well, this time, Mr. Tennant says that the Widnes tacklers did not allow enough room there for McAllister to move, and in fact have given an offside decision 5 or 6 yards from the Oldham post. Free kick then to Oldham as the first half draws to a close. Still Oldham 10, Widnes 21. And there in fact goes the hooter to end a very entertaining first half. 5 tries altogether, 2 to Oldham and 3 to Widnes. Possibly the first half will be remembered for a superb display by Jonathan Davis. A wonderful try, 4 goal kicks and a drop goal, and on top of that some excellent tactical kicking as well. from the Welshman. The Widnes fans have waited quite a few weeks for him to come up with that sort of performance, and he's supplied it in this first half tonight. So a half-time score of Oldham 10, Widnes 21. Kicks down to him for the whole of the second half. Rick Thackeray from half-back. I don't think you'll see many frills from Widnes in this second half. It will be just steady play up the hill. Coloto. Mackenzie finds Davis. Steps out of one tackle. Little kick forward from Jonathan Davis. Almost getting to that ball. That looked like an offside decision. But no, says the referee. Well, in fact, he's given a scrum down for perhaps a knock-on. And David Hume will put that ball in for Widnes, midway between halfway and Widnes 25. David Hume, Widnes have it. Myers joins the line, goes to the right. But a good tackle by Cogger, who got out of the scrummage very well. Davis is at half-back. Gives it to Coloto. A good tackle by two Oldham players there on Coloto. There's not many players who stop Coloto in his tracks like that. Davis then. Another kick upfield. A superb kick from Jonathan Davis, turning McAllister again. He races back though. He's a very strong player, McAllister. And Courier and Thackeray bring him to ground on that far touch line. Short ball again. Casey, prop forward for Oldham, making another few yards, bringing play up towards the halfway. Ruane, predictable kick downfield, but he doesn't find touch this time. Myers has it. Comes back inside. And does well, shrugs off one tackle. But in the end, brought to ground, but a good run again from the young full-back. Mackenzie, Coloto. Plays the ball quickly. Pike going on the right-hand side, there's no support there. Does well to die with the ball under pressure. Moving it back inside, Jonathan Davis. Another long kick upfield against this very strong wind. Oh, but a knock-on by McAllister on his own 25. Just for a second he took his eye off the ball to see where the Widnes tacklers were coming from, and he knocked the ball forward. Scrum down then, right on the Oldham 25. Well, I would assume that's where it is anyway. David Hume then, out to Jonathan Davis. Bit of space here for Davis, trying to step inside. That was a good tackle by his opposite number forward. Myers at halfback, tries to go himself. Another cloud burst. Widnes having to move the ball to the left. Pike, a short ball to Mike O'Neill in the line. Mike O'Neill still gets up though, and in fact keeps the ball alive. Pike, David Hume. Widnes' turn now to play against these atrocious conditions. Coloto just losing his feet on the Oldham 25. Mackenzie with a dummy. A kick towards the Oldham line. McAllister gets across. Well, in fact, Gary Lord gets across and does well. Does very well indeed. Comes across the back of his goal post and beats two or three players. An excellent run that from a dangerous position by the right winger. did very well to get Oldham out to where they are. And in fact, Oldham trying to get Robinson away on that far touchline. The ball just going to ground. But a good move from Oldham. Scrum down then, outside the Oldham 25 on that far touchline. Hume will get it for Widnes, but an offside against Cogger. The referee rightly says that John Cogger was out of that scrum far too quickly for his liking. And Jonathan Davis will take the free kick to Widnes. Safely into touch on that far side then. Widnes move to within 20 yards of the Oldham line. Short ball to Grimmer, who charges at the defence and takes place within 10 yards of the Oldham line. Now Mike O'Neill. Big Widnes forwards here, making good ground towards the Oldham post to set up a position. Mackenzie. Pike switches play. David Hume. He tries to step inside, but Cogger does very well to bring him to ground. Widnes make no further yardage there. Myers is at half-back. Now Grimmer. Grimmer shrugs off one or two, keeps the ball alive to Richard Hurst. So still a couple of tackles for Widnes then, 10 yards short. Mackenzie kicks the ball forward, tries to get that loose ball, but in the end McAllister, the Oldham fullback, takes that loose ball. The referee says that it's a knock-on, and that will be a scrum down, just 5 yards short of the Oldham line. David Hume will put the ball in for Widnes then, just 5 yards short. Widnes have it. Hume himself, short pass, oh, just behind Jonathan Davis, but Andy Courier does very well to tidy up that loose ball. Davis at half-back, moves it to the right, has to go himself, there's no support there. Coloto from half-back tries to go himself, offloads the ball to Thackeray. Thackeray just a yard short, 3 Oldham players bring him to ground. And so Widnes then, on that far touchline now, have a chance to move the ball across field. But that ball goes to ground, picked up by Richard Hurst. And the Oldham defence pushes him back 2 or 3 yards. A long pass this time, Mike O'Neill. Does very well, Mike O'Neill opens the game up. Jonathan Davis in the line, and a pass to Darren Wright. And Darren Wright goes over in the corner for Widnes. Excellent play, first of all, by Mike O'Neill. Found the support in Jonathan Davis, and the Oldham defence pushes him back 2 or 3. Not allowing Oldham to play the ball, and Ruane puts that ball safely into touch then. So Oldham have a chance here to add to the scores. Short ball. Leo Casey makes it to within 2 or 3 yards of the Widnes line. McAllister in the line, almost getting through. A superb tackle by Mike O'Neill. Widnes will do well here, keep Oldham out. Ruane tries to go himself for the Widnes post, and he's held up just a yard short. Cogger. Oldham just short then through Sean Allen, switching play back through Cogger. Ford tries to go himself, looks inside for Cogger. He scored a try in the first half for Oldham. The referee decides this is a 6th tackle. Ford, a kick through towards the Widnes line. But Rick Thackeray does very well indeed. Picks up that loose ball, shrugs off 1 or 2 tackles. And Widnes safely have the ball. Now Coloto, excellent drive from him. Makes another 5 yards for Widnes. Now Joe Grimmer. The customary first man pushed away with consummate ease. And the ball thrown back to Jonathan Davis. Another long kick from Davis. Obviously not as far in the second half
as his kicks were in the first half. McAllister then. Widnes have to wait. They've been caught with that trap once or twice already in the second half. They must give the man room who's receiving the ball. Substitute. Good run from him. Early action. From Neil Clawson then. Substitute for Oldham. Oldham again then through forward. A short ball to Casey. That was good play from Oldham. Looking for support inside. But the ever-covering David Hume brings him to ground on this near touchline. Oldham then. Bit of a revival here. Forward. Kicks again for that corner. Thackeray will do well. In fact, Steve Robinson does very well and scores a try for Oldham. The fans like it, and the linesmen like it. The flags are up, and an excellent kick it was. Any kick in these conditions from the touchline is an excellent kick, and that one was. So, some encouragement for the home fans. We'll get behind their side now. Oldham 16, Widnes 25. And a substitute for Widnes on the far side. Andy Courier leaving the field and will be replaced by Andy Sullivan. Jonathan Davis then restarts the game for Widnes. Sean Allen for Oldham on his own 25. Leo Casey, whose surging run set up that try for Oldham. Now the substitute, Neil Clawson. The ball thrown back to McAllister, left-footed, crossfield, rather sliced that kick. The linesman saying that ball went out on the full, and the crowd in that stand on the far side totally disagree with that decision. Nonetheless, the official has the last say, and the ball will come back in centre field, just inside the Oldham 25. Scrum down, says Mr. Tennant. Andy Sullivan has gone to scrum half for Widnes. David Hume has moved out to the right centre position, vacated by Andy Courier. Obviously, Widnes deciding to leave Jonathan Davis at standoff, having such a good game this evening. Andy Sullivan, he had an excellent second half when he came on at Bradford at the weekend. Caloto again then. Widnes trying to set up a position for the backs through the forwards, making it to within maybe 15 yards of the Oldham line in centre field. Mackenzie, along the ball this time to Pike. A drive by Pike. There's one thing about Derek Pike, the ball almost always available for a supporting player. O'Neill switches it back to Joe Grimmer. He gets the ball away to Sullivan. A good pass from Sullivan. Caloto, a quick pass to Rick Thackeray. Thackeray there, kicks for the corner. The ball going loose. The referee deciding a scrum down. It's 5 yards short of the Oldham line. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe a knock on there. Just couldn't see it on that far side. Nonetheless, Oldham have the ball 5 yards from their own line. Cogger. Good run from him. In the end, Sullivan had to bring him down. Oldham have had a lively spell in the last 10 minutes. Mr. Tennant saying that Sullivan wouldn't let Cogger up off the floor to play the ball. And so Ruane will have this free kick for Oldham. Widnes need to steady the play up if they like.
Just a 9-point lead. As I say, they're not out of sight yet in this game. Playing uphill and against a very strong gale. Leo Casey, he's had a good game for Oldham tonight. Plays the ball to himself and makes another 5 or 6 yards. But he's stopped by a combination of Kaloto and Joe Grimmer, and they didn't stop anybody. Oldham then on this near touchline. Ruane, kick downfield. That ball eluding Martin Offiah. Due entirely to the elements. The Oldham supporters wouldn't like to think that was the reason, but it was. Scrum down then, inside the Widnes 25 on this near touchline. Oldham have the ball again. McAllister comes into the line. The ball dropped. Andy, or rather, Darren Wright puts his foot to that ball. Robinson does well to get back for Oldham just inside his own half. That could have been dangerous. The pressure off Widnes for the moment then. Darren Wright bringing down the substitute for Oldham. Cogger, he's had a lively game for Oldham. Ruane again with a kick, this time blocked by Jonathan Davis. Scrum down. Comes out to Oldham. The referee says that Sullivan was offside. One or two players there having a bit of a set to. David Hume drags Sullivan away. He is a very lively player indeed, Sullivan, when he comes into the game. Meanwhile, a free kick to Oldham then. McAllister safely into touch this time, and so the onus with the home side again then on the Widnes 25. Perhaps a shade under 20 minutes left of this game as Oldham through Newton make it up towards inside the Widnes 25, then in centre field. McAllister goes himself towards the Widnes line. Oldham don't look finished yet. The home fans getting behind their side. Flanagan couldn't find the support on the outside. Forward then. The referee deciding that he used one of his teammates there as an unfair foil and has awarded Widnes a penalty kick for obstruction. Jonathan Davis then. Another good kick from him. Finds touch just outside the Widnes 25. Derek Pike. The Widnes forwards have acquitted themselves very well so far tonight. As I say, not conditions at all for throwing the ball about too far. And when needed, they've kept it very tight amongst themselves. Richard Ayres, good strong run from Richard Ayres. That's an excellent run from Ayres, doing very well, getting over halfway, finding Joe Grimmer. But the referee deciding that that was a forward pass. Well, that was so unlucky. An excellent run from Richard Ayres. Looked inside for the supporting Joe Grimmer, who also had Martin Offiah lurking dangerously alongside him. But meanwhile, play back just inside the Oldham half. Oldham have the ball. McAllister again. Does well. Looks for support. There was none in the end. Sullivan brings him to ground, but that was a good run from the fullback. Good spell here again from Oldham. Forward. A long pass from him to Lord. Well, that looked a forward pass, but the referee let that one go. Robinson trying to step inside Myers. Myers does very well holding him up there. Oldham then through to Wayne, are just 5 yards short of the Widnes line again. Coggers at half-back. Ford, a little kick from him. The ball hits the post. Oh, Jonathan Davis doing very well to pick that ball up behind his own goal line. That could have been a very nasty situation for Widnes. That kick through from Ford, hitting the foot of the post, eluding Dave Myers, but Jonathan Davis tidying up very well. So it'll be the same player to drop kick this ball out from between the posts into midfield. Paul Lord almost getting through. A good tackle from Pike and by Caloto. About 15 minutes left then of this First Division fixture. The home side, Oldham 16, Widnes 25. Oldham trying to work a position. Casey straightens the play up. Widnes under some pressure here again. Moving the ball to the left, Oldham. Forward, short ball. Sean Allen plays the ball. Oldham bring it back inside. Flanagan. Sean Allen, a good drive from him. Oldham are only 5 yards short of the Widnes post here. The last tackle, says Mr. Tennant. Cogger tries to go himself for that line. And in the end, 4 Widnes forwards hold him up just a yard short. Well, Cogger may have done better, to have moved that ball away from that very congested area for his side. Nonetheless, Widnes have the ball 10 yards short of their own line through the fullback Dave Myers. Now Caloto, it would be the big Widnes forward to try and bring their side away until Jonathan Davis perhaps can kick them away from the line. Mackenzie going himself from halfback makes another 2 yards. Joe Grimmer is at halfback. The ball thrown to Davis. He puts a little chip kick in. Well, the referee rather getting in the way there, but allowing Oldham to play that ball on. McAllister again in the line on the left-hand side. Tries to step inside the tackling. David Young and the covering Derek Pike bring him to ground just inside the Widnes 25. Oldham still with the initiative then. Now the substitute, number 15, Clawson. Flanagan. Oldham then, through to Wayne. Goes himself, does well, knocks off 1 or 2 tackles, looks for support, keeps the ball alive. But in the end, Joe Grimmer drops on that loose ball for Widnes. 10 yards short of their own line. Widnes cannot get away here for the last 5 minutes. Oldham have kept the pressure right on them. With perhaps 12 or 13 minutes left of this game then. The home side, Oldham 16, Widnes 25. Mackenzie. Kick by him, the ball going over halfway. McAllister comes to get the ball. Sullivan gets across with the help of Mackenzie to bring him down right on halfway. Mackenzie took a knock in that tackle. Oh, well played by Caloto, dropping on that loose ball and in fact keeping the ball alive. That was good play by the New Zealand forward. He did well. For a big man, he got down very quickly and indeed set Widnes going. Now Sullivan. Derek Pike, a chance for Widnes to move the ball here. Darren Wright tries to step inside, looking for a fire. The referee in the end bringing play back. Darren Wright trying to squeeze that pass out to Martin Ofire on this near touchline. A knock on by Martin Ofire. The referee waiting to see if Oldham could gain any advantage from that loose ball. Not so, says Mr. Tennant, and that will be a scrum down midway between halfway and the Oldham 25. Flanagan to put the ball in for Oldham in a fashion. Oldham have the ball. Forward tackle very well by Darren Wright. He did very well to snuff that move out by Oldham. Still the ball going then. Robinson, the last try scorer for Oldham. The Widnes cover quickly across.
Getting perhaps now to the stage of the game where Widnes are quite happy to keep what they've got. And that long kick by Oldham going out on the full, and a substitute for Widnes on the far side, Phil McKenzie. He did take a knock a little earlier on this near touchline, and in fact is limping to the touchline. Let's hope that injury to him is only a slight one, and we're taking him off perhaps as a precautionary measure. And David Marsh will come into the scrummage. Richard Earls has gone to hooker. Meanwhile, Jonathan Davis surges through the defence, steps off one tackle. A marvellous play by Jonathan Davis, an absolutely wonderful try by this fellow, and that has the whole stadium clapping and standing to a wonderful try. Even the Oldham fans appreciate that superb try by this little Welshman. Well, Richard Earls has gone to... This time, just pushing that wide of the far upright. But perhaps who could blame him for just pushing that one wide after a super try like that. So, with about 10 minutes of this fixture left, Oldham 16, Widnes 29, and it would be quite safe enough, I think, to suggest that Widnes, for the first time this season, will head Division 1 tonight. Yeah. And with perhaps not having the success that they'd hoped for in the knockout competitions, the biggest hope at the club now is for this side to retain the league championship status. This will go a long way, this result, to helping achieve that goal, even though they've had a few fixtures crammed into the next fortnight or so. Every time Widnes get 2 points from a fixture, it makes it all the harder on the other side to drag them back now, because Widnes are in the driving seat. Meanwhile, Oldham up to the 25 through the substitute. Clawson, who plays the ball. Ruane's at halfback. Good pass from Ruane to Clawson. Good play by Oldham. They're only 3 or 4 yards short. Moving the ball, another kick from forward. Thackeray misses it. Oh, the ball gone loose. Play on, says the referee. Rick Thackeray has 50 yards to go to the line. Nobody will tackle him now. Rick Thackeray will sew the game up for Widnes. Well, from one end to the other, Mike Ford kicked that ball through for Oldham. Rick Thackeray missed the ball the first time, but in fact got back to the loose ball. Against these sorts of elements is difficult, no matter what the yardage. Jonathan Davis then. The linesman's flags say that he's successful on this occasion, and Widnes move out to a very smooth looking 35 points to 16 lead. With perhaps 5 minutes left then of this fixture. McAllister.
will restart the game for Oldham, as it's just been announced that number 13 for Oldham, John Coggett, was the Oldham man of the match tonight. But even he has had to take second place, to be fair, to the Jonathan Davis show. That will go a long way tonight to helping Jonathan settle into rugby league. Just the sort of game he needed. In fact, just the sort of game that the doubters needed. As Oldham bring play then, midway between halfway and the Widnes 25. Ruane worked tirelessly for Oldham tonight. Widnes lad played very well at hooker. But I'm afraid the Widnes pack have kept, in the main, the Oldham forwards well tied down. Still Oldham then, into the last 5 minutes. Some switch play between Casey and Ruane. But Widnes were alive to that situation. And Oldham don't make any yardage at all. Coggett trying to go himself, a little kick through. And he does well to get the ball, but a knock on, says Mr. Tennant. Coggett did very well to get to the ball, but just knocked on. And that will be a scrum down on the Widnes 25 in centre field. Sullivan to put the ball in for Widnes. Widnes have it, move it to the right. Davis trying to step inside a tackle. Knock on, says Mr. Tennant, by David Hume. David Hume acknowledges the fact. But I really am surprised that there hasn't been more knock-ons and the like on this pitch tonight. Meanwhile, scrum down. Oldham have the ball. Comes out to Ford. Ford on the switch. Is very well, the run around. But he's brought to ground by Paul Hume. Or David Hume, rather. I apologise. And David Hume doing very well to race back and get that loose ball. He just made a good tackle and then raced back 15 yards to drop on that loose ball. Richard Ayres then on the right-hand side for Widnes. The game out of sight for Widnes now at 35 points to 16. Derek Pike going up that blind side, putting in a kick, and an excellent kick from Derek Pike. Well, everything seems to be going right for Widnes just here in the last few minutes of this game. As I say, Oldham have had 3 good results of late, 3 successive wins, gave them some encouragement. And the feeling is at the club here that 2 more wins for Oldham will keep them safe in the First Division. And with fixtures to come against Bradford and Castleford, perhaps they could just do it. Meanwhile, Widnes have their sights on something bigger, i.e. the Championship trophy. Oldham then with the ball, inside the Widnes half. Flanagan with a short ball. Case is brought down. Coggett. Ford, short ball to Sean Allen, the ex-St Helens player. But Mike O'Neill and Sullivan bring him to ground.
Come on, lads, coming wide! Quick! Come on!
And Mr. Tennant having a word with Joe Grimmer, saying that he went in late with that tackle. And Ruane puts that ball into touch for Oldham. The clock ticking away now, perhaps 2 minutes left of this game. Substitute again, Clausen. He's had a good game since he come on for Oldham. It's a very lively big forward, but Widnes pinched the ball through Coloso. He's very good at this, Coloso. Always looking to pinch the ball from an attacking player. Davis again screams to a gap, looks for support, but he just couldn't get that ball away. But fair play to Coloso. He took the initiative right from Oldham there, pinching that ball and setting Widnes away again. So Widnes then, just inside their own half. Andy Sullivan's at half-back. Richard Ayres, short ball to Marsh, does very well. Marsh does very well, stepping through 1 or 2 tackles, looking for support, finds it. But the ball going to ground from Darren Wright. And the referee says that that's a knock-on from Darren Wright. David Hume, the Widnes captain, telling the Widnes team just to settle it down. I'm quite sure that they knew exactly what they must do. With just perhaps a minute or so left of this game. Oldham then on halfway. Cogger, the man of the match for Oldham tonight, tries to go himself down centre field. Wayne on the run around with Flanagan. Flanagan trying to get his away, but that ball goes to ground, says Mr. Tennant. And it will be a scrum down, midway between halfway and the Widnes 25. The hooter about to go to the end of this game. As I say, Widnes now will take over from Leeds at the top of Division 1, and that will give them every encouragement for the traditional Easter Monday game with St Helens at Knowsley Road this coming Monday. Ball just going to ground from that Widnes attack. Oldham picking up the loop ball. Play still in midfield. The ball moves to the right here. McAllister joins the line again. Sullivan, he's had a lively game since he come on, as he always seems to do. Ruane charges himself towards Jonathan Davis, but Davis does well. But the hooter goes for the end of the game, and the travelling fans from Widnes to Oldham tonight have been well entertained in terrible conditions. But at the end of the day, this game will probably be remembered more for anything than the Jonathan Davis show. 2 superb tries, 5 goals and a drop goal, and then other tries for Widnes, taking the score to 35 points to 16 against Oldham.